stop. Before you ever answer a police officer's question, you need to hear this. One wrong word, one careless reaction, and what should have been a simple traffic stop, a casual encounter, or even a routine check can spiral into a nightmare you never imagined. What I'm about to tell you isn't something they teach in schools, it's not common knowledge, and yet it's incredibly powerful. There are just 4 words, yes, only 4, that you can say when an officer asks you if you have any weapons or contraband that can instantly change the dynamic, protect you legally, and keep the situation calm. These words are not about confrontation. They're about knowledge, preparation, and safeguarding yourself in a system where a single sentence can make a huge difference. Today, I'm going to reveal exactly what those 4 words are, why they work so effectively, and how using them properly could prevent unnecessary trouble, stress, or even legal consequences. Interactions with law enforcement are one of those areas in life where most people feel pressure, anxiety, and fear. It's completely normal to feel this way. But here's the problem. In that stress, many people say things they shouldn't, give explanations that work against them, or even accidentally admit something that isn't true. A lawyer sees this all the time. People don't understand their rights, and the result can be simple encounters turning into complicated legal situations. That's where these 4 words come in. They are a simple, precise tool that stops escalation before it starts. And they are something anyone can use regardless of guilt or innocence. So, what are these 4 words? They are, I want a lawyer. That's it. 4 words, but their impact is huge. The moment you say these words, the dynamic changes immediately. Why? Because the officer realizes that you are invoking a legal right, that you are aware of your protections under the law, and that anything further they attempt to extract from you without your lawyer present could be problematic. Most police officers know this. Most trained officers are familiar with the limits of interrogation, and most will step back once they hear it. Saying, I want a lawyer, is not confrontational. It's not rude. It is the simplest, most effective way to assert your rights without causing unnecessary tension. Some people immediately think, won't this make me seem suspicious? Absolutely not. Saying you want a lawyer is your legal right. It does not imply guilt. It is not an admission of wrongdoing. In fact, it is the smartest thing a person can do. The legal system is complex, and even the most innocent person can say something that unintentionally complicates their situation. These 4 words act as a shield. They protect you while keeping the encounter calm. They give you the power to remain silent until you have legal guidance, and that can prevent countless problems that arise from speaking too quickly or under stress. It is crucial to understand that timing and delivery are everything. You do not have to blurt these words out aggressively. You wait until a question arises that could implicate you. When an officer asks if you have weapons, if there's contraband in the vehicle, or even about what you were doing, that's your moment. Take a deep breath, remain calm, and say clearly, I want a lawyer. That is all. No additional explanations, no nervous rambling, just those 4 words. By doing this, you are taking control of the situation in the most respectful and effective way possible. The way you deliver these words matters. Calmness, clarity, and confidence are key. If you say it hesitantly, mumble, or show panic, it can create tension. But if you state it with composure, you convey that you understand your rights, that you are serious, and that you are not panicking. Think of it like this. You're not challenging authority, you are simply setting a boundary that is legal, reasonable, and in your best interest. That boundary immediately changes how the officer approaches the interaction, and in most cases, it stops any further questioning about sensitive topics. Real-life examples prove just how effective these words can be. Take, for instance, a man who was pulled over for a minor traffic violation. The officer, following standard protocol, asked if he had any weapons in the car. Most people, faced with this, panic, fumble for answers, or even lie in an attempt to avoid trouble. But this man calmly said, I want a lawyer. The officer paused, nodded, and proceeded with the traffic stop without pressing further questions. That simple, calm statement prevented a potential misunderstanding, avoided unnecessary escalation, and protected the man legally. This is not hypothetical. These situations happen every day, and the right words make a huge difference. It is also worth noting that this approach works for everyone, not just people who believe they might be in trouble. Innocent people who know their rights use these words to avoid being caught off guard, to maintain control of the interaction, and to prevent misinterpretation of their statements. Being innocent does not remove the risk of saying something that could be twisted, and saying, "I want a lawyer," ensures that you stay protected without lying, without panicking, and without escalating the situation. It is a universal precaution that everyone should understand and feel comfortable using. Now, some might ask, do I always need to say this, even if I feel I'm completely innocent and have nothing to hide? The answer is yes, if a question comes up that could implicate you. Your rights are your rights, and they exist regardless of whether you believe you're guilty or innocent. Saying, "I want a lawyer," is not an accusation. It is not an admission. It is a safeguard that protects you and ensures that you have legal guidance before responding to questions that could be sensitive or complicated. This is knowledge, preparation, and a protective measure, all wrapped into 4 words. Another key point is that while these 4 words are incredibly effective, they are part of a larger framework of behavior that keeps encounters safe. Remaining calm, keeping your hands visible, avoiding sudden movements, and speaking politely all work alongside the words themselves. Your demeanor matters as much as the words. The combination of calm behavior and invoking legal rights instantly changes the dynamic. Officers respect composure and clarity, and when they see someone who is calm and legally informed, they are less likely to push further or escalate the situation unnecessarily. Some people wonder if this only works in traffic stops or specific scenarios. The truth is, these 4 words are effective in any situation where a police officer is questioning you about potential criminal activity, contraband, or weapons. The principle is consistent. You are asserting your right to have legal counsel before answering questions that could be used against you. This is a legal safeguard that everyone can use, and it works across a variety of situations, from traffic stops to more serious encounters. Practice is important. It might seem simple, just 4 words, but saying them calmly under pressure requires preparation. Practice in front of a mirror, say it in a clear voice, and get comfortable with the rhythm and tone. The more natural it feels, the more effective it will be in real situations. When an officer sees that you are confident, calm, and in control, they will respond differently than if you are nervous, panicked, or hesitant. Confidence and clarity amplify the power of these 4 words. It is also important not to over-explain. Some people feel the need to justify themselves. "I just want a lawyer because I know my rights," or "I'm not hiding anything, I just want a lawyer." Resist this urge. 4 words, no more. Clarity and brevity are your allies. Any additional explanation can open doors that should remain closed until your lawyer is present. The more concise you are, the stronger your legal position. This is a critical point that many people overlook, and yet it is what ensures that these 4 words work every time. There's also a psychological aspect. Saying, "I want a lawyer," shows that you understand your rights and that you are taking the situation seriously. Officers, by nature of their training, are aware of the legal implications when someone invokes their right to counsel. This awareness changes their approach, often leading to a de-escalation of the situation. It's not about being difficult or rude. It's about asserting a boundary that is respected by law. This psychological shift is why these 4 words are so effective. It's about law, psychology, and strategic communication all at once. Consider a scenario where someone is being questioned late at night during a routine check. The officer asks about weapons, and the individual calmly responds, "I want a lawyer." Immediately, the tension in the encounter changes. The officer knows not to push, knows the legal boundaries, and the interaction proceeds without unnecessary conflict. This small, simple statement can prevent stress, protect your rights, and even prevent legal complications that could arise from an unguarded answer. It's also important to note that these 4 words are part of a broader strategy of being legally aware. Understanding your rights, knowing how to behave, and knowing what to say is crucial in any interaction with law enforcement. These words give you a foundation, a starting point for protecting yourself, but they should be combined with knowledge, composure, and awareness. Together, these elements create a powerful defense that works even in high-pressure situations. Many lawyers emphasize the importance of these words repeatedly because they are universally effective, simple, and actionable. Unlike complicated legal jargon that can be confusing in the moment, "I want a lawyer" is easy to remember, easy to say, and immediately changes the situation. This is why it is recommended for everyone, regardless of background, legal knowledge, or experience. It's a practical, real-world tool that anyone can use. Finally, the takeaway is simple. Next time you are in a situation where a police officer asks, "Do you have any weapons?" or any question that could potentially implicate you, remember these 4 words. "I want a lawyer." They are your legal shield, your protection, and your right. Using them doesn't mean you're guilty. It means you are smart, prepared, and respectful of the law. It keeps interactions calm, prevents misunderstandings, and ensures that you have legal guidance when you need it most. 4 words, simple, yet incredibly powerful. Knowing them, practicing them, and using them correctly can make a huge difference in protecting yourself, your rights, and your peace of mind in any situation where law enforcement is involved.